to,
So
right?
do you think Gen Z is smarter than millennials? For the millennials, work-life balance is a myth. Thank you. Okay, let's get started now. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today it's going to be a different video. I have a guest here on my channel. She's Betty. She's one of my colleagues who have been working. I have got the privilege to work with her for the past, I think 7 months it has been, Betty?
A year.
It has been a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's April 2024.
We were able to tolerate each other.
Oh, true. It hasn't been that hard though. You're pretty cool.
Thanks. Okay, so I would like to thank Betty first because she has been kind enough to stay after work hours, and we could record this video because Betty apparently lives far and we cannot go to each other's place, so we thought of why not to make use of the space that we have today. So we stayed after 5. Okay, so as you might have already known about the video that we are going to have today, it's about a Gen Z work life versus a millennial work life. So of course Betty is Gen Z.
Duh.
And I am the millennial one. So both of us are doing it for the first time. We have no idea if it's gonna be...
We're gonna be good.
We're gonna be good, yeah. I want to start with a very simple question that we have for you. Do you also think that Gen Z generation views work differently from what we millennials see?
Oh,
it?
definitely. I feel like the thing is, like, when it comes to work, millennials struggle a little bit with like setting boundaries, like especially like contract. Let's say you get hired somewhere hypothetically and you're supposed to work like 9 to 8 or something. Millennial wouldn't mind going past that 8, like just out of their own time, and they wouldn't request like over time. I think there's just a bit of like a boundary issues, and also with like taking lunches, millennial wouldn't mind like working through lunch. It's just they need to like work on like setting up boundaries and showing up for yourself pretty much when it comes to working.
But I'm again speaking on my behalf as a
Yes.
millennial. So like if I know that this particular work needs to be done right now, even if I skip my lunch or maybe I little bit extend my time and what I am expected to. So if I do it, then if you have been on my place, would you not do that as a Gen Z, or would you be like, okay, my
Personally,
time is done, so I'll take care of it tomorrow?
I think that's where like time management comes into place. I feel like the fact that you have to work through lunch or work after hours is a bit of a time management issues. Like there should be a workaround that you should be able to do all your work during like the work allocated time. So I mean, we have like 8 hours, so.
Wow. So like if anything, any mishap happens, let's say on your work, related to your work thing, so would you not be happy to extend it, or would you be like, I'll take care of it tomorrow maybe?
No, it depends. Again, it depends on your field. If you're working like something healthcare, life or death situation, or urgent client issues, then probably. But usually I think like if you communicate appropriately and just set up, you can just call them and set up a meeting for the next day or for like your next work available hour. Because I feel like, isn't that what like work-life balance is all about? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right here.
Yeah.
I might have to learn. That's why I'm working with you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, that was actually good. That's a great insight to know.
Yeah.
So also, like, how do Gen Z people see 9 to 5 work environment? Like, are you... It's like if you're working somewhere,
Like
so you
Monday
have
to
Monday to
Friday.
Friday.
Wow.
So you, I think, have not seen that time,
No,
right? You have
like
seen the
after the
hybrid,
pandemic, yeah.
the work from home situation. So
Yes.
how do you now feel? Because I can see many offices, many companies are switching back to 5 days.
Oh, wow.
But luckily, we are not.
Yes.
But how do you see it? Like, will you be okay with it going Monday to Friday in person every day?
Personally, no, because I think that also comes to tie with the whole work balance thing. I think like having to go every single day, that kind of takes away from the time of enjoyment for your own life. And especially if you're working somewhere where your work can be done remotely, I feel like another reason why people don't like the Monday to Friday is because you literally leave your house and drive to go sit in your desk and be on a Teams meeting. Like, it's not the most productive, and also we're low-key destroying the planet. Like, yeah.
Wow. We might need that perspective though.
Yeah, like
I think we are getting into it, but maybe some places are changing it back to what we had earlier.
No,
So
I think like the best arrangement is hybrid because obviously I agree as well. You do need that in-person interaction with your colleagues, but I don't think every single day like it's a requirement. If your work, if you're not like a server or work that you have to do there, it's probably not.
okay, well said. Okay, now a very common question that we keep discussing on. What do you think are the red flags of the workplace? I'm not
This
trying
is-
to get you in trouble.
This is
though.
good. No. I think like again, hypothetically speaking, I think the first one is let's say you're interviewing for somewhere and they start making this statement like we are family. Like I think that is pretty much that's a corporate LinkedIn go-to red flag because technically, we're not. So yeah, that's the biggest one. And I think another one it's where like lack of boundaries again. Let's say like if you're somewhere and your supervisor or your manager feels comfortable messaging you off hours. Like I have friends who would say like their managers message them at midnight and 10 p.m. Yeah, like people, maybe some people in like finance and all this. I feel like just a lack of boundary is a red flag because yes, you signed the contract, but you didn't sign your life away. So,
Yeah, I would say that's a red flag for
Yeah.
every generation. I believe. I
like
think
not.
it has to be like if it's 9 to 5, it should be 9 to
Yeah.
5. Other
Like,
than if
calling
there's
you
any
after hours is just
yeah
not appropriate. Yeah.
no. So do you think that for our generation, like for the millennials, work-life balance is a myth or
I think the way millennials have been set up, it seems like a myth, which is something that Gen Z is trying to like really break through and bring back. So yeah, what do you think?
what I would say in that part is like we as millennials have had that in our head like since the time we have been working or since the time we have been in colleges or wherever in the world we have been. So it just sort of comes as a natural understanding like okay, this is how you have to work, this is how work environments are. You, if there is something urgent that they need you, you have to be there. You cannot have those words to say no. We basically struggle of saying no.
So millennial struggles with saying no.
At least I do. Like
okay.
in general, if I have seen many
Yeah.
around me, so we do struggle.
We
saying,
can practice it today. Say no.
Yeah, that
No,
we will.
thank you.
I would say that might be a little controversial.
Oh.
So, do you think that millennials romanticize struggle while Gen Zs avoid discomfort?
I think millennials, again, from my experience, the ones that I've spoken to, they do romanticize like struggle, like if my parents struggled like this, I have to also go through this. This is the norm. And Gen Z, it's not like we said we dislike comfort.
Avoid discomfort.
We actually do avoid discomfort. I don't think the human body was meant like to be discomforted. Like we're literally so fragile.
So how do you define discomfort at your workplace? Like
Messaging me at midnight.
that I think that would go both ways. Like even I would not be okay with it. I don't think anybody would be okay with that. I don't know who are
some
actually
some people
okay
might be
and
normal.
continue doing that.
Yeah.
That's a big red flag. At least we can say that.
Yeah.
So do you think Gen Z is smarter than millennials?
Yeah,
Are you saying
100%?
Okay.
100%. I feel like even minus the whole invention of like AI and advanced technology, we are, yeah.
So talking about the AI that you brought up, so don't you think that we as millennials know how to get out of a situation? Like we have not always been dependent on technology. We actually try to get it from our own head, like the solution. We used to find it hard way. But as for speaking of your generation, like you already have so many AIs, tools and everything, so you know where to get the solution from. So do you think that isn't it making, like, let's say if the technology one day, if any mishap happens, that you won't be able to get out of certain situation, you won't know what to do because we don't have ChatGPT for that matter of time.
Not really. I think the thing with millennial is like, yes, you use your knowledge, but you don't make use of the technology and the resources that are available to you. And Gen Z, we pretty much prioritize using both. Like we don't just use one. Like obviously nobody's just gonna use AI. It's still a robot. But like we also use our like information, all our education and background mixed with technology, and that just sets us up for like a greater like future. So
okay.
And I think millennials should like use both. They're both available and many other resources.
But we as millennials have seen like everything in the world. We have seen like At least
That sounds like a Gen X. What do you mean you've seen everything?
I mean, whatever, like, we have been a generation where we have seen 3G, we have then seen 4G,
Okay.
we have also seen 2G. Like, I have seen 2G, I have seen the phase that we never used to have phone during
Oh, so you
our
mean like
childhood.
you've been through more changes, like
Yeah,
technology-wise?
but since the time Gen Z generation has started working or maybe has started going to
It's more
school, they're
advanced?
more advanced
okay.
in technology terms. Like, they
Yes.
have more to explore around.
Yeah.
They have lots of information. Like, we have literally seen the change. How it has happened over the period of time. But speaking of your generation, you have like been privileged. Do you think your generation is privileged?
I think we are privileged, and we came at a time of more like comfort and easier ways of like getting things done. So I think we're really just taking advantage of that. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And there's nothing bad about like
we were born into the soft life era.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so getting into the end almost of the discussion that we are having, because I know you have to really go far.
Yeah, I have to go home.
Yeah, and the place where she goes, it's had a lot of traffic, I believe.
Yeah,
so I don't want her to, just call me and then start blaming me.
And scream.
Because she knows how to do work-life balance.
Yeah, totally.
And she has plans.
You're on the clock.
Yeah. Okay, so what lesson can we learn from your generation?
How to set boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Big pause.
How to set them and uphold them, because I feel like it's one thing to set it to be like, oh, don't reach out to me at this time, or like don't do this, but to uphold them when someone tries to step over those boundaries, to constantly remind them and not just allow it.
So don't you feel like, let's say if I'm the head of, like, I'm your director or something, if I reach out in after work hour, or it's urgent because of that, so it's urgent, I reached out because of it, so would you be reminding me of it?
Yes,
don't you think I would get offended or something, or maybe
not really? You can always communicate in a respectful way. Like, I feel like that's another point. Like, I feel like millennials struggle with upholding their boundaries because they don't want to come across as disrespectful. People are gonna perceive you in different ways. Like, we can't control people's perception of whatever we're portraying. But I feel like an example like that, if your director's reaching out to you after hours, a polite way would just be like, "Thank you so much for bringing up this issue. I'll be sure to address this first thing in the morning."
Okay.
And like, what else would they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can even throw in your contract there as per my contractual hours.
Yeah. And I can say that Betty is like that. Like, she knows it.
If
she
my future employers
her
work in this, I will be flexible.
And what do you think your generation can learn from us? Is there anything, Betty? It could have been like one simple thing that you guys can learn.
I think millennials are very resilient, so that's something we can learn as well. And just how to be resilient and push through. Like, everything is not always going to be easy, so push through while still upholding our boundaries. So
okay. I think we are getting a big learning from here that we need to know, like, millennials need to know especially how to have the boundaries and how to basically not struggle while saying no. It can be in a very positive manner as well.
You can be polite and say no.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. So I think that was all.
Yeah.
Is there
this
anything?
was awesome.
Yeah.
No, I like this. Make sure to subscribe to Shivani's channel and help her grow.
Thank you.
And share.
Thank you, guys. And if you are a millennial or Gen Z, and if you agree with what I asked her, what she said about her generation, drop a comment.
Let us know in the comments.
Yes. We'll see you again with another topic. And I think Betty's not going anywhere, neither am I. So we're gonna have these conversations.
Be her co-host.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you can be.
Yeah.
And then we'll start coming up with more ideas, and hopefully it helps. So yeah, guys, thank you. See you again in another video. Okay, bye.
Bye.